Alrighty, folks. Well, we are back in California. Yes, we are back in California. It was an amazing 3 weeks. Let's get into the daily financial news. We'll talk about what happened yesterday on November 30th. And I hope you're having a great day. It's a little bit chilly this morning, but we're going to get this done anyways. So first, let's talk about inflation. We got the all-important PCE, and we got the headline in core. They were actually a little better than expected. What we got from core was up 0.2 month on month, and the year on year was at 3.5. Headline was at 3% year on year. What's important was core, which is the one, it is the one the Fed talks about, is down. It was 0.3 last month and 3.7. So we are on our trajectory to get lower and lower rates, especially as housing works its way through the system, as we have talked multiple times. Now it looks like the market is actually saying the Fed is done. You and I have been talking about that for many months now, but the market is actually expecting the Fed to be done. Fed President John Williams says he expects inflation to drift to 2% by 2025. Folks, this is their new tool. Remember what we talked about before was Powell talking tough. We're going to go higher, yada, 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 not doing it. Now what they're going to do, again, their voice is all they have left, is they are going to talk about inflation being stickier. I suspect we will see core inflation readings in the twos probably as soon as January or February. So again, realize that when the Fed speaks, they are trying to move the market. They are trying to influence things. But we are clearly in a disinflation environment, and we're actually seeing some things truly deflate. So again, all in all is good. Another Fed president, Thomas Barkin, is actually saying he's hearing that consumers are starting to slow down, but he's not seeing the data. So again, lots and lots of stuff going on. Let's talk about pending home sales. Pending home sales readings, ugly number, unless you were like you and I, and we were expecting it. Remember, the reading from pending home sales was for October. We have been warning, and we actually told the CEO of Redfin, you're wrong, sir. We are going lower. And we did. We went to 3.79 for actual sales. But we also said pending we're going lower. So what happened? Lowest level ever. The doomers are going to have a field day with that statistic. Lowest level ever. First and foremost, let's not get it twisted. Forever in this case is not a long time. It goes back to 2001. So the survey is 22 years in the making, and it is the lowest on record, but I do not suspect they will tell you that. If you want the actual numbers, they were down 1.5% year or month on month, and 8.5% year on year. Remember, this is for October. Remember that we said in October, you can go back. I have receipts. In early October, I warned you this is going to be ugly. I talk to real estate agents, investors almost every day, and it was very clear that people were not ready for the ugly October numbers. Now, let's have another conversation. So the doomers want you to look at October, and I want you to look straight ahead. What has happened since October? Well, rates have peaked, at least for the time being, at about 803 or 807. Sorry. My dogs want to get up because it's kind of cold this morning. So 8.07. Rates now are sub 7.3. So rates are down about 3/4 of a point, which is significant. We are seeing housing affordability improve, which with each drop in interest rates. So again, pending home sales were down. The only other thing in the stat that I want to highlight, because again, you and I were getting this right, is Redfin is highlighting that homes particularly over 750 grand are particularly hard hit. Folks, remember, we've been doing this for a year now. The mainstream media is just catching up. There are two markets. The luxury market, which you can say is 2x the median, and then there is entry level. Very, very different. But yes, when you put on macro surveys, you sometimes miss the tree through the forest, I guess. But yes, pending home sales down. Don't know if you guys saw this, but it looks like Cybertruck deliveries have started. There was a big, event yesterday in Texas. That's important because my wife, Olivia, is one of the millions of people that put a down payment or a $100 deposit on a Cybertruck. I personally can't see her driving it, but we might be getting a Cybertruck sometime in the next couple of years, whenever our turn is. I don't know if you saw this. I give a lot of grief to Kathy Wood. Let's give her some props. Kathy Wood's ARC fund was up 31% in November. So, hey, take the good with the bad. Kathy Wood had an amazing November, up 31%. Okay, folks, the next thing the doomers are going to talk about, and it will be right, but as usual, only half right. Active listings, according to Redfin, posted their biggest annual uptick ever for this time of year. Folks, new listings were up 6%. The doomers are going to tell you that this is the end of housing. The housing collapse has started. Look at new listings. They're up 6%, the biggest ever. What they are not going to tell you in the same article is active inventory. Even after a record number of new listings, active inventory is down. Active inventory is down 7% year on year. They aren't going to tell you that, oh, by the way, prices are up, because, that would just defeat whatever they're trying to do. And then lastly, they're not going to remind you that last November and December were horrible for housing. Folks, go back to my channel. Watch the videos from November and December. We were having flippers and whatnot talk about the market stopping. We had Beth Traverso, a top 1% agent, basically say, nobody's going to open houses. It was over. We told you this. So what is important about this is the compare. The reason new listings look great is because last time the market was shut off. The market was over. So again, the doomers won't tell you that. They will take one fact out of many and try to scare you, try to validate their horrible long-term opinions. At the end of the day, folks, I never tell you to buy anything. I just implore you and ask you to do the work. What is an average deal? We don't do average, only do good or great. All the normal stuff. It just irritates me that folks can spread fear and doom and just get people stuck in this negative loop. Please, please take care of yourselves. Next up, saw an amazing interview that I'm going to actually continue watching, talking about what's called a strategic default. If you don't know what that is, it was very, very common in residential real estate in the last crash. But what's interesting is strategic defaults are coming to commercial real estate. Why is that important? Well, in commercial real estate, the numbers are just quite frankly bigger. You are going to have people with 10, 50, $100 million loans play hardball with their lenders. What does that mean? It's basically a threat of mailing in the keys. Like, I'm out. I'm not personally liable for this, right? The loan. I sign the loan paperwork. You sign the loan paperwork. If I don't pay, you take the asset. A strategic default is where you, the borrower, goes, here, bank, take the asset. I dare you. And what's going to happen here is you are going to see some borrowers play hardball. They are going to ask for forbearance. They are going to ask for loan workouts. They are going to ask for reduced interest rates. They know the banks don't want them, so they are going to go after these. So again, what does that mean for us? Well, the opportunity in the commercial market might not produce as many opportunities as we thought. Because if banks or if lenders cave and don't foreclose, that's one less asset trading at a reduced rate. And then lastly, folks, I watched a quick 2-minute video from Grant Cardone this morning while I was walking, and I thought it was pretty interesting. What will you sacrifice for success? What will you sacrifice for success? Now, success could be in any field and anything. But one of the things that we talk about in this channel is getting wealthy. And step one of getting wealthy is creating dry powder. Now, you can absolutely increase income. You can increase revenue, top line. You can absolutely reduce your expenses. Or maybe you could do both. What are you going to sacrifice? Again, just to remind you, Olivia and I sacrificed for 15 years. We did not always take multiple $30,000 vacations. We didn't always fly first class. We didn't always get the big room on the boat. We didn't always do these things. But you can. It just takes time and consistency. So again, for those who haven't heard, the 3 steps to getting wealthy are this: create more disposable income, become elite at something. This is not about diversification. This is about becoming the best of the best at your thing. And then lastly, 10 years. 10 years. Olivia and I, we were slow. It took 15. But once you are there, life is pretty good. Life is pretty good. Alrighty, folks, have an amazing day. Now, why didn't I record a video on November 30th? Some of you have noticed that I did not have a daily financial news. Well, here's the honest truth. I did the work, as I'm sure you would expect me to. I have full notes for November 30th, because again, I could do that. However, I don't fly on air, or I don't sleep on airplanes. So by the time we got home, we got all the dogs situated. I had been up for 40 hours straight. Also, I am now performing my first 3-day fast. So I'm at the end of day 2. And let me just tell you this, I had no energy to record the November 30th daily financial news. Folks, do yourself a favor. Don't do a fast and not sleep for 2 days, 40 hours. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. That said, if you want me to record the daily financial news for the 30th, I have the information. Actually, I have a good video from Graham Stephan I looked at with 4 ideas on it. So if you wanted me to record it, leave a comment below. Otherwise, I will be back doing the daily financial news Sunday morning. Also, thank you guys for watching the videos as we were gone. I appreciate it. I tried to reply to all the comments. You're amazing. Thank you for selling out the event. We sold the last 35 tickets. It's going to be amazing, folks. Take care of yourself. Have fun. Bye.